This Valentine's Day MindEspresso is about how you talk to yourself. Do you talk to yourself like a good coach would? Do you talk to yourself like a mentor would? Do you talk to yourself as if you are the most successful you that you can be? Or do you get caught up in cycles of negativity or hedging in the way that you talk? Remember, you talk to yourself between 50 and 50,000 times a day. No one talks to you more than you do. You are your most important coach by far. And all of those thoughts create actions or inaction, right? We can talk ourselves into things, we can talk ourselves out of things. And ultimately, our actions over time are going to create feedback loops, right? We're going to give ourselves feedback on what we did or didn't do. People are going to give us feedback, and we're going to interpret that, and that's going to feed into our belief system. And that will, in turn, start generating thoughts. And so we've got to get control of the thoughts and underneath that, some of the beliefs. Now, how do you do that if your self-talk hasn't been the best, right? And again, they've shown in experiments, so self-talk raises performance, it lowers anxiety. We know that it works, right? We know that self-criticism is a limiter. Well, Dr. Joe Dowling is a author of a book called Zonefulness, and he works with the UPenn team on performance. He's also worked with the Eagles, and he wrote a book called Zonefulness, and he's got a couple of ideas on how to just unstick your thinking, right, if you happen to be stuck. Number one is direct yourself in a movie. Imagine that your favorite star is playing you at your very best in the movie. What is he or she doing, right? How is he or she talking to themselves? How are they living their lives? They experience that. That's you, right? That's you at your best. That's you without all the crappy thinking. Another way to take this is, how would you coach yourself? What would you say to yourself? Or how would a great mentor coach you, given the situation that you're facing? Instead of just getting stuck in your head, what are the words that someone would say to you? You know, he shared the example of this kid who was a great leader, but he was really hard on himself. And he was amazing with other kids, right? And he would talk to the other kids and he would say, you're so much better at that, you're gonna win this, you know, you're gonna make that shot. But when he would talk to himself, he'd be like, you're gonna miss that shot, don't miss that shot. And he would have all this negative talk about himself. And so he had to reorient this kid's thinking, because he had it in him, right? He would coach other kids, but he had to use that same self-compassion, right? That same self-coaching on himself. He has another exercise, which I like a lot. I actually tried this one last night. Picture yourself with miracles, where everything in your life had a miracle happen. How would you feel, right? Your money issues, your relationship issues, whatever it is in your life, all of a sudden, you were granted miracles and they were all working great. And you got up and you were like, how do you feel? What are you thinking? What are you doing, right? Those are the things that you need to seat yourself in, because that is you, right? Because all your obstacles are your own. And then he gives out a simple framework for getting in and out of the zone. He calls it zonefulness. Let's talk about what outside the zone looks like, and that's outside this triangle. Outside the zone is when you self-criticize, when you worry about the past, and what should I have done in the past? Why did X happen? Why did Y happen, right? You're stuck and you're ruminating about the past. Or what if X happens in the future and it doesn't go right? What if I fail, right? Or you're stuck in the future worrying about the future. He said these three are the sort of triad, right, that get us out of the zone. They get us into a negative state. We talk bad about ourselves. We're worried about the future. We regret the past. How are you going to live a fruitful life here? Now, on the inside, he says to use each of these as a trigger. If you feel self-criticism, it's a trigger that you need to be very self-compassionate, extreme self-support, extreme self-compassion, right? As if you were talking to a 3-year-old who did something wrong. How would you coach him or her through that? That's the same kind of tone you have to take with yourself. Then, if you're worried about the past, he's got another great technique, which is your highlight reel. What are the greatest hits of your life, and how did you feel? Experience those. Write those down, right? And remember and encapsulate those. What is your personal highlight reel? And then, in thinking about the future, experience success in the future. Don't keep putting yourself in a position of what could go wrong or this could go wrong. Get yourself in the mindset of success. You know, when Tom Brady walked into this Super Bowl, he was not going in going, gosh, I really hope I don't throw an interception, right? He was going in with the mentality of, I've won 6, I know how to win this. This is what it's going to feel like. Marinate in that feeling of success. What happens when all your miracles happen? Because that will train your brain to do that on a consistent basis. Train your brain to look at highlights and to tell you the story that is your great story from the past. Train your brain to self-support yourself. And he says, once you're there, then the conscious mind can melt away and you can get in the zone. Now, 4 things that I have found, 4 conversations that I've found. I've been working on self-talk for years because I grew up with a lot of self-criticism, right? So I found there are 4 levels of this. There's my talk around the world is. Then my talk about the people that I deal with on a daily basis at work, and my commute, and my family. My people are. Then I am, and then I will. So let me walk you through this. If you start off the day and you think the world is an ugly place and the people around you suck, how's your day going to go well, right? How are you going to put yourself in a good mental frame throughout the day? So even if the world doesn't seem great to you or your people don't seem great, find the most useful frame to put on that. The world is full of abundance. My people are helpful when they're at their best. My people are just trying to get through their day. I am going to overcome today. I am going to win today. I am going to finish this day strong. And I will do X, Y, and Z, which is the challenge for your day, right? If you had got up every day and you had something that framed the world, right? Your immediate community around you, right? And then your own self and your challenges, that can be your go-to dialogue throughout the day. Now, if I use this in combination with this, it's really powerful. If I feel self-criticism, move to radical self-support. If I feel as I'm living in the past, play my highlight reel. If I'm living, in a worry about the future, picture that awesome future with you in it, right? And that is how you keep your mind out of the negative and into the zone. But again, you talk to yourself between 15 and 50,000 times a day. We all have a negativity bias, which means we need to work hard at this. It affects everything, right? It was Gandhi who said, watch your beliefs because they become your thoughts. Watch your thoughts because they become your words. Watch your words because they become your actions. Watch your actions because they become your habits. Watch your habits, that becomes your values. And watch your values, this becomes your destiny. Take control of your destiny. Take control of that self-talk. And that's this week's Mind Espresso.